Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast weekly reading. I'm Charlie. We are currently reading The Path of the Yoga Sutras by Nicolai Bachman. You can find this book along with many other books that we are currently reading on our website at www.womeninleadership.com. And you can also connect to our podcast from there. So make sure you subscribe. This week is chapter 43. Pranayama, regulation of breath. A healthy mind has an easy breath. Anonymous. Stabilizing and refining prana, our life force, is the centerpiece of yoga practice. As the fourth of the 8 limbs, pranayama is where we begin to work with our subtle body via the breath. Prana, equivalent to qi in Chinese, is responsible for all movement in the body and directly influences our physical, mental, and emotional health. When prana flows smoothly, our attention can focus and our heart-mind can calm down. Life itself is defined by the existence of prana. The word prana means life force or breath. When a baby is born, everyone waits for its first breath or utterance, an indication that its individual life, apart from the mother, has begun. After a person's last breath, prana leaves the body at the time of death. One is not declared dead until the heart stops, the breath stops, and the pupils of the eyes are dilated and unresponsive. These symptoms indicate there's not enough prana in the body to sustain life. Prana is the energetic link that carries sensory information in and action impulses out of the human system. Prana moves everything in the body, including blood, lymph, nerve impulses, and ions. It also moves within our subtle energy points, energy channels, and energy centers. The mind influences the body and vice versa through the prana flowing in the nervous system, the breath, and the subtle energy channels. Wherever the mind goes, the prana follows. In other words, wherever our attention is directed, our life force is projected. This means that our thoughts can affect our body via the nervous system. Studies have shown that the power of a focused mind through visualization or a complete shift in attitude can significantly alter the course of disease. If we can control our life force, we can improve our overall health and well-being. Prana can even emanate from the body when we concentrate our attention. Thoughts are considered to be waves of prana that have an ever so subtle effect on their destination. For example, I have noticed that when my daughter is sleeping and I think about her waking up, she stirs in her sleep. You may have experienced someone turning their head toward you after you have been looking at them from a distance, trying to get their attention. Breath is a physical manifestation of prana, the life force that connects all aspects of perception. When the life force is obstructed, the breath becomes irregular. For example, when we are frightened, our prana is shocked, causing us to gasp. If we are stressed, taking a few deep breaths relaxes our body and calms our mind. Pranayama calms the nervous system by means of breathing exercises that control and regulate the breath. Irregular breathing patterns and restlessness indicate blockages to the flow of prana and result from the 9 obstacles to practice. Pranayama balances and slows down the breath, which helps to clarify the heart-mind and prepare it for the journey inward. Pranayama comprises both the practices involving the breath and the resulting breath regulation and control. Breathing exercises manipulate the prana and directly affect the body and the mind through the nervous system. So they have the potential to be very helpful or very harmful. It is safest to learn pranayama from an experienced teacher. According to the sutras, there are 3 primary pranayama activities: exhalation, inhalation, and retention. Exhalation is relaxing, inhalation is stimulating, and retention is neither. Each activity is done a certain number of times for a certain duration of time, with our attention directed toward a certain location in the body. The goal of pranayama is to have our breathing become smooth as silk with no blips. There's a 4th activity of pranayama, which is really inactivity, stillness of the breath, as if the air in the lungs were passively mixing with the air outside. This state occurs during the practice of samayama. Pranayama, through its effects on the physical body and the mind, helps stabilize and calm them. Practicing this part of yoga helps us bring our attention away from sensory stimuli and toward a point of focus. From there, we turn inward, practicing the inner limbs of yoga, and gradually experience more and more of a connection with that divine inner light of awareness that rests inside our core. Thoughts. When prana flows quietly, evenly, and unimpeded, we are able to focus and our inner light is revealed. I can ascertain the irregularities in my breathing and take steps to even them out. I will recondition my breathing until it becomes long, smooth, and subtle. Exercises. During your asana sequence, pay attention to your breath within each posture. Notice if there are any irregularities and in what positions they occur. Sit quietly and follow your breathing pattern. Notice how easy it is to change your breath. See if you can breathe with as little movement as possible. Seek out an experienced teacher of pranayama and study under their guidance. Thank you for joining us this week for the weekly reading from the Path of the Yoga Sutras. Again, you can find this book and many others on our website, www.womeninleadershipbsmb.com. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Namaste.